Well, I'm gonna try to be quick. This stuff has got me fascinated. As this guy, as soon as I saw this video, I'm still thinking about it. Swap faces in Photoshop. Um, I think I'm fascinated by it because I mean, in this tutorial, I see this guy switch a face, and other ones they tell people how to switch a background. Now, part of me is like annoyed because I feel like it's going to be important if people are going to be online and they want to create their own avatars and they want to use avatars that are linked to them but not necessarily who they are, because of all the talk about hackers and because of all the talk about stalkers. Because they can, I am not lying, because people commit these crimes and don't report it because everybody wants to wear gloves but nobody wants to like be there reporting piracy, because people act like it's better to go online and like get free music when they used to have to pay for it at the mall, at the stores. Then people got the whole idea that they are entitled to free movies and free music. Then I start coming up with my own ideas of, well, if I'm a band on MySpace and somebody takes my music, I want to go into the Jerry Springer show and call them out on it because that's our work they took. And I think that's fair, because if I can't get a police officer to be the Fist of Fury, then I can get me and my band members. We can be the Fist of Fury, bringing our own sense of justice to people who act unfairly. I mean, if you don't own it and didn't make it, you don't have the right to handle it. But then, see, now I'm fascinated by this because there are people who really seem to believe that, this is some kind of safety idea. Taking part of your face and pasting it on another person's face and body, or taking your body and putting it on in another environment. So I don't know what to say. All I can say is I am completely fascinated by it because of all these people who talk about how dangerous the internet is. When people see your face, they can track your face, any information. They're looking to track you down, so it's better to give them fake information. So like if you give them a famous person's face, they might track they're looking to track the famous person down. And if they like, that's my point though. If you give, like, say I gave Gabrielle Union's face as my face and I put it in my box, but I still gave out my home, like any home information, like what town I was in, then they would come to my town, but they'd be looking for Gabrielle Union and not me. So how crazy is this? I mean, who thinks like this? I cannot for the life of me understand why this is fascinating to me, but I'm gonna keep thinking about it. I know I thought it was interesting, but I also thought it can be very confusing. I can't quite get to the point of why people try to use this thing, but I know that I need to pay attention to it because I've come across a similar logic, especially when I was writing fictional characters and people pretended that they were actors. They pretended that they were actors. Or maybe they were acting, but I didn't understand the point. And also, when I was on YouTube, the people around me seemed to be like really into hyper safety, but I'm like, I don't understand what that means. When it's safe to cover up everything, location, your facial features, and you can go online and take music. It just seems shady and more shady and more shady. It seems like the more deception and confusion they introduce for safety reasons, the more they're pretty much guaranteeing they're like covering up piracy and theft and whatnot, whatever else. I mean, it's like when you are so for safety that you won't tell anybody what you look like, you're using other people's faces and images and backgrounds and other people's words, and you go online and you pirate the movies and you pirate the music, and I don't know what else you do. Look for credit card checks at creditcard.com. I don't know what else they do. Doesn't that sound really kind of shady? And maybe that's why I think that this kind of confusion is not called for. But yet it goes completely along the lines of the same people who keep talking about, you got to be safer, being honest isn't being safe. WTF.